Hello, today I present to you two interesting stories about two different couples. Their stories should act and be an example or experience for those who are in a relationship, wants to be in a relationship, or anyone who is bored and stumbled upon this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these two short stories. Thanks for listening through. My ex-husband, R, of 4 years, cheated on me last year with a college friend of mine, G, and she ended up pregnant. I left him, and he moved in with G, and they had the baby. I haven't kept up with them since. As I'm sure everyone's surprised, R cheated on G. I found out through a friend who still follows G on social media because she made a post blasting him and all of his actions. And oh man, what a post. This was the kind of post that's once in a lifetime. G aired all of their dirty laundry and it was just a fantastic post. G found out R had given her some STI. She didn't specify which, but implied it was treatable. And for some reason she stayed with him. Likely the baby they'd just had. But later she found out he'd been cheating since before she even had that baby. Anyway, G found out she was pregnant with their second baby. She told R, and he was so excited, and they went out to celebrate. R got a little too drunk and made some weird comments that made G think something was very wrong. He'd given G his phone passcode, bold of him, in my opinion. And after he passed out, she checked his texts and he had, and I quote, 2 other women he was texting in his recent messages. I'm glad. I won't say G ruined my life because she didn't, but she planned to separate me and R, and she succeeded, and she's getting her just desserts. She's going to be a single mother to 2 young children, and it's because she was so adamant about being with my ex, even though he was a cheater. He got a taste of infidelity and he couldn't stop, and now she's suffering. I feel bad for G's kids. They'll grow up with a mom who craves chaos, and they won't get the life they deserve. And I fear her second baby will inherit whatever STIR gave G. I hope and pray R will take responsibility for his children because we wanted kids at some point, and he's great with kids. But oh man, I dodged so many bullets. I feel kind of bad that I'm happy, but karma came for them, and I'm not one to doubt the universe's way of balancing itself. I'll just keep going to therapy, doing my thing, and keeping my peace. As always, I'll be just fine. The public social media post from G was a spectacle, and for a moment I thought it was the end of the drama. But the universe wasn't done. A few days after the online explosion, my phone rang. It was R. I almost hung up, but the curiosity was too strong. His voice was frantic, full of a panic I had never heard before. He wasn't calling to apologize, but to ask for a favor. He was homeless, he said, and G had kicked him out. He begged me to let him crash on my couch, just for a few nights, promising to pay me back and make it right. I laughed and told him exactly where to go. The satisfaction was incredible. But then came the twist I never saw coming. A week later, another friend called me, sounding shaken. "You're not going to believe this," she said. She had just been with G, who was at the hospital. Her second baby had been born prematurely and was in the NICU. That was terrible enough, but the real shock was what she found out from G's medical records. The STIR had given her, the one she thought was treatable and minor, was far worse than she ever imagined. It was a serious chronic condition that would affect her health and, heartbreakingly, the baby's health for the rest of their lives. And then my friend shared the darkest part of the conversation. G, in a moment of utter despair, had confessed a secret she'd been keeping for a year. She revealed that R's comment about being good with kids was true, but it wasn't just about his children with her. He had been so proud of his ability to be a father that he had a child with one of the other women he was texting, the one from before the pregnancy with G's second baby. It was a vicious cycle I had no part of. The reality hit me hard. R wasn't a cheater who was just getting his comeuppance. He was a manipulative, deeply flawed individual who was actively destroying lives, and the truth was even more complicated and destructive than I had ever imagined. My initial sense of joy and karma was replaced by a hollow, terrifying feeling. My story didn't end with me being fine. The final twist of the knife was realizing that R's web of lies and betrayal was so vast, it reached far beyond me and G. I had moved on, but the chaos he created followed us both, a shadow that would always linger. I was no longer an observer. I was a former victim of a dangerous man whose actions would continue to hurt people for years to come. I had been with this girl for 2 years now, and I was madly in love with her. But since the beginning of 2022, we hit a sort of rough patch due to me going through some personal life problems. We weren't getting to meet much, and we were having frequent fights over some petty things. Things kind of took a turn in February when she went to a friend's wedding where her group of college friends was there, and among them, her ex. To give a bit of context about her ex, he is an absolute C-word of a human being and is like a walking red flag that everyone should avoid. She had broken up with him long back and even told him why, but whenever he texted, he always reverted back to how they should get back together, and he is perfect for her. She eventually had blocked him last year. She unblocked him in early 2022 as she required some guidance from someone who works with AI/ML, and he was the only one. She had informed me too and shown me their texts, and I could immediately see that he was low-key playing the long game to get her back. I told her that he hasn't changed, so she shouldn't get too chummy with him as he is clearly waiting. She said that she felt the same too, but I shouldn't worry as he has zero chance. Cut to February, after she came back from the wedding, I asked her repeatedly if anything happened when they saw each other. They met after 2 years. Did he make a scene or did he try to make a move, anything at all? She repeatedly said that nothing happened. It was a bit awkward at the beginning, but then they got to talking, and they talked again properly, like friends, after a long time. They used to be best friends before dating, before she knew what a pathetic guy he is. She said he has changed, and she can trust him, and all they talked about is life and career and all. I believed her. I was already going through a personal crisis and didn't have much energy to pay heed to this. Things started taking a turn when I started noticing that since the return from the wedding, she is talking to her ex way more than she used to. Her college friend group had 4 people, including her and the ex, and they were even planning a trip together. Now, as I have stated previously, we were going through a rough patch, and we seldom talked much in those few months outside of when we were playing together. She was supposed to by co-op partner for life, and used to fight frequently over petty things. During one of these, I blurted out that I don't like how chummy and friendly she is getting with her ex, and I am not comfortable with her going on a trip with her college group of 4 people, as I don't trust her ex or her college friends. She repeatedly said that I need to trust her, and that she will cut the ex off if he ever steps out of line, and has even told him so. This kind of went on, as I could see that in spite of me telling her I don't like this new closeness between them, she still refused to do anything about it. The fights escalated a lot. She kept blaming me that I am being insecure and unreasonable, and I kept trying to make her understand that it was not her. It was him I didn't trust to not make a move. And she kept saying that she would make sure that he is gone forever if he even tried. Their trip was canceled, and it was replaced by him and the other girl from her group coming over to her house for the weekend. On the day of the visit, the girl opted out saying she had an interview, so it was just the ex coming to her house. I instantly felt that this was fishy and that the girl and the ex planned this to get him alone with my girlfriend. But then I felt that I was being unreasonable and overthinking this. Nonetheless, I let her know that I didn't like the turn of events, and she said to not worry, he can't do shit even if he tried, as her parents are home. He stayed at her house for the entire weekend and went out to meet their other friends in the city. She took the next Monday off from work because of a sudden plan made on Sunday night. He finally went away on Monday. Throughout this entire time, I tried to stop thinking about it, but I couldn't, and it was driving me crazy that her ex was getting to spend more time with her than I did in the last 2 months. I texted her incessantly initially during the time and asked her a lot of questions. Where was she? What did they do? And it pissed her off. We had a mini fight again and didn't text much since Sunday evening. Finally, after he went away on Monday, we had another big fight. I told her this was too much for me to take, as I was under tremendous stress at the time, and this added insecurity was getting too much, and so I needed a break. She said that I had no reason to be insecure, and she understands and respects my decision. So we decided to give each other some space. I was going away on a trip the next week with my friends, which I badly needed as I really needed to unwind and freshen myself up. We talked it out on Sunday, reaffirmed our love. This is the end of the video. I hope anyone who made it to the end of the video a great and prospered life. Thanks again.